hear me okay? You can hear me
I
okay?
see you fine. You look great, man. So we're on. We're on right now. Facebook Live. Tony Scott and Marc Clarke. What's up, man?
For real? We all live right now?
We're on right now, man.
I have to go look on my little Facebook. What's going on, Tony Scott?
I'm just here, man. Living your world, man. I'm in your world, man.
Damn. No. Well, yeah, Tony. Yep. Yeah.
If it's not your world, then you got to tell me whose world it is, man, because I missed the memo.
Okay, so we're on Tony Scott. What on Facebook?
Oh, let me double check. Let me double check that for you, young man, because
this and that.
No, it'd be Tony Scott Media Page 2.
Media 2.
Tony Scott Media Page 2.
Oh.
Well, let me double check, man. Hold on a second.
You got too many pages, man. You got too many pages,
I got
man.
a lot of pages, man. I need to get rid of some of them because they just don't serve a purpose, really. But it is what it is. Let's see.
Tony Scott Media Page 2.
Tony Scott Media Page 2. Is that going to be a problem? I didn't even know that going to be a problem. Let's see. Where am I at? Let's see. Is that it? That's not it. Wait a minute. Dang nabbit.
It's like you split your audience, but you got like 8,000 followers in one group and 8,000.
What the hell, as they used to say, what the hell? And let's see. I'm getting ready to put this password in, man. Don't look, man. So, and then this is professional broadcasting right here, y'all. So y'all know. This is what
I don't know where I am.
This is what y'all always said y'all wanted. Y'all wanted professional broadcasting. I don't know what the hell y'all were thinking. The hell? Yeah, I'm on Tony Scott. Let me hit this one. Is this one I don't even hit right here? No, that's the wrong one. Wait a minute. This is embarrassing. I'm embarrassed.
You debarrassed.
I'm debarrassed. I'm deburst. I forgot. I'm deburst. I was deburst. So Stanley says he grew up listening to us, man.
Who did?
Stanley, that doesn't make us feel really good. That makes us feel really old, man. But thank you anyway. Yeah, Tony Scott Media Page is what it is.
Damn, Tony got too many. Okay, Tony Scott Media Page.
That's us, man.
All right, I'm just trying to see. I guess I'm not going to see it this time. But anyway, hey, what's going on, Sammy? Sammy, man, thank you for listening, man.
Yes. Kevin Lyle's in the house, man.
Kevin Lyles?
No, the Kevin Lyles.
Well, yo, man, but Kevin can give us a job right now.
No, that's not. That's the Kevin Lyles. This is the Kevin Lyles.
Oh, this is the Kevin.
This is the Kevin Lyles. He says.
What's up, Kevin Lyles?
He said, St. Louis hasn't been the same since you all have left. Well,
man,
says he's listening to Steve Harvey. Well, good for you. Yeah, Lisa, how you doing? Everybody good? Donna?
Yeah, Rock. Tell Kevin, man, we got love for him.
Yeah, man. It's all good, man. Everybody checking in, and it's all good, and there's that. And let's see.
So, like right now.
Yeah.
See, so Tony, you haven't been in St. Louis for, what, 2 years now?
3 years. I haven't been on the radio in 4 years.
So if you had to pick a food spot right now.
In St. Louis?
Yeah, where would you go? Where would you go, man? You're blind now.
I'm flying blind. You know, my go-to spot, man, is the Mexican joint, man, El Maguey.
That's a different one. What happened to Chewy's, man?
Chewy's closed, man. I think he moved to a different location, so I'm not gonna say he's closed because he may not be closed.
Well,
that was.
Well, Tony, if Chewy moved, but you didn't know what the location was, that's my daughter who just went by the way. I know some of them thought they saw a ghost, an Afrocentric ghost with natural hair and a African top.
A beautiful girl, by the way. Yeah.
That's my oldest,
man.
Sydney. But well, I guess people would what the people checking in, they could tell us, Tony, if we had to go right now to St. Louis, where would we go to eat? Other than what's your Mexican spot?
El Maguey.
El Maguey. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I'm not gay.
What you asking me for?
Yeah, that's the wrong person for that.
You asking for a friend? What the hell?
I know. Damn.
No, I don't know, man. I mean, it's been a while, man. So
Tony, that's the interesting thing about you. You are interesting. You're interesting because you're curious about something, but you're not curious about other things. And it's funny. It's a very interesting line.
Well, give me an example. What are you talking about?
Like, you will figure out how, if I ask you, Tony, I call it magic, but it's not magic. Email or, this kind of transmission that we use on the computer. You have a basic understanding because you're curious, and you say, well, Mark, blah, 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 server, and this and this and that. But I ask you the name of your favorite Mexican restaurant, and you happen to be Mexican.
I am Mexican, and I told you the name of my favorite restaurant. I just don't know what it means.
Right, but there's nothing inside of you that said, you know what, I wonder what that means. I have no curiosity to see. It could mean the ass. It could mean, it could be whatever.
I have no idea. Yes.
You have no curiosity at all in that.
I like eating at the ass. Is that what you're saying, man? That's what the hell?
Well, speaking of that, Faith Evans did admit that she tossed Biggie's salad.
What is that about, man?
I'm looking at her differently, and I'm glad I didn't kiss her the last time we interviewed.
That's not something you admit publicly unless you're like a porn star, right? And even then, I mean, is there any situation in life where you're going to publicly admit to tossing Biggie salad? Well,
she was on the podcast, The Drink Champs, and Faith probably can't hold her liquor.
She didn't have her assistant with her to save her from herself, man?
Faith is an addict, so if you're on a podcast that features drinking and you're an addict, hey, I'm surprised it didn't stop at that.
Yeah.
And by the way, Tupac did hit it. Oh no!
Well, it's a moot point now. They're both dead.
Well, yeah, that still would make you feel a certain way, though, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's like I just don't see a point where you just talk about that. That's not something, even drunk, man. I mean, come on, man. She wasn't that.
Well, Tony,
she was not. And then she turned around and married that idiot, Stevie J.
Now that part,
that's worse than what she did to Biggie.
Biggie probably is in his grave. Biggie, I can see a Biggie be mad in his grave on that one. Because if you're stupid enough to marry Stevie J, then our marriage was a farce. Which it was.
Yeah.
It was a farce.
Yeah. But
I mean, this confirmed it was a farce. If you marry anybody who married Stevie J after watching that damn show, come on, son.
So channel your inner Biggie, man. When she's being intimate with Biggie, man. What's he saying, man?
Oh, Biggie. Oh. Faith. That's where that high pitched Faith came from. He ran across. She went on nerves. Faith. Oh.
Oh man.
I told you, Tony, one time when I had experience in a young lady.
Hey, your daughters are home.
Oh, right. I never forget it. We had relations, and
I had to save you from yourself, man.
Yeah, man. I got the 3 girls and 2 dogs upstairs, man, and a wife.
Hey, man. So I just read where T.O. is now explaining why he ain't going to his Hall of Fame induction because he didn't get in the first time.
Yeah. How you feel about that?
What are we, 12 years old, man?
Well, here's the problem. Here's the problem for quite some time. I do have pet peeves. Like, I have pet peeves when people are not accurate, or not thorough with their whole argument, right? Mm-hmm. So the Hall of Fame at Canton, where your likeness and your jersey and your paraphernalia that surrounded your athletic career, it's like a holding place for your bust and your uniform, right? Now, the Hall of Fame has nothing to do with people voting for you. Right. Those are your peers. That's the voters and the.
I thought they were NFL writers that vote you in.
Yeah, the reporters and the whatever.
Yeah.
But the Hall of Fame has nothing to do with that.
No, it's not the NFL Hall of Fame. It's the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah. And so his beef, like your beef, T.O., is with the reporters who are petty.
Yeah.
And, he's right. I mean, he's right. I think he should have been a first ballot. But it's not, your beef isn't with the Hall of Fame, it's with the reporters. So why are you taking your moment and not going to the Hall of Fame induction?
So do you think it's fair? I mean, clearly T.O., a world-class wide receiver, a world-class football player.
Yes.
But there were issues. There were issues. So what my question is this, though, Mark. Should the issues, take away from what he did on the field? Because it happens in every sport. Pete Rose can't get in the Hall of Fame, No.
Yeah, but no, I think T.O. is just in that he should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. Yeah, you should have been.
So is that reason to not go?
What'd you say?
Is that reason to not go?
Right. I mean, it's his personal decision. I don't think so. Eric Dickerson had a great point. He said he talked to T.O. He was not a first ballot Hall of Famer. He ran to a reporter. He talked to a guy. The guy said he kept him out because he held out. Remember when Eric held out? He said, one guy didn't vote him in because he held out. Mm-hmm. Now, T.O., T.O. had a whole bunch of reasons to not be liked.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure the same thing applied, and it's probably too much power for these sports writers. But, I would not, now that we're in our 50s, I think, we'll take our roses, and I think you kind of, you take those things and take those awards and those honors, and, it's cool. It's cool for the family. It's a cool moment for yourself. Now, if he doesn't want to do it, fine, T.O., but I just hope he doesn't regret it. With this kind of personality, he probably won't regret it, but I tell you what, it's a great opportunity to reset and make some money that he's kind of passing on, because, you do the speech, you get your jacket, you get the bust. It's a reason for people to bring you to your Hall of Famer to speak, whatever. I guess that still applies, but,
I don't see T.O. having that kind of post NFL career.
Well, that's true. So he doesn't care.
It's the same thing with Barry Bonds.
Right.
Good looking guy, knows how to talk to people. He was I understand he was an ass when he played baseball, but he ain't playing anymore. But he's not. I mean, he's a special assistant to the general manager of the San Francisco Giants. But why isn't he on a broadcast? Alex Rodriguez got a gig on the broadcast, but I wonder if Alex, and I hope they don't break up. But if they break up, him and J-Lo, does he lose the gig because now he's not important? I don't know.
And the thing about Alex is interesting. He has an interesting personality. He's not as cool as I thought he was. He's kind of a cornball, but he's a super athlete.
Yeah.
But he's not really funny. He's not really deep.
He is corny though. Yeah. It's
kind of corny, right? It's weird. It's like, wow, I thought he was much more suave than he presents, but he's rich.
But when he wasn't a pitcher, man. Did you say he could pitch?
He was rich.
Oh, he was rich. Okay, I was going to say.
It's the connection.
But the thing is, though, with he's spot on with a lot of his analysis. Though, like he what Tony Romo did last year during the NFL broadcast. Tony Romo would call the play, and they'd run the play, and that was like creepy in a way. But it's like, damn.
Yeah, he's good. He is good.
Yeah.
And I think he's so good that he had so many haters. They ain't saying nothing. They're like, he's pretty good.
Well, Stanley says that T.O.'s behavior shouldn't count, but unfortunately, that's part of the deal. And so you can't conduct your life. You have to live your life. You can't live it with the possibility of getting in the Hall of Fame because you don't know.
Tony, if you don't mind, I'd like to quote someone here.
Yeah.
Live your life. Live your life. Junior. Thought I'd add that. Junior said that. Remember, Mom used to say.
Junior from the, what was it, the 80s?
Yes.
Junior, let me help you out. Junior Lipscomb.
There we go. See?
Mama used to say.
There we go.
Mama used to say. So there you go. Fatima Howard.
Wait a minute, Tony. I interrupted your train of thought.
Yeah, that's it. That's gone. That ship is here. Hey, speaking of sports, Denzel Washington says he is glad his son J.D. didn't have a football career. He played 3 years in the NFL, but he says, I don't even know how many concussions my son had. But I'm glad he's out. He's trying the acting thing. and his son JD. JD actually played with the St. Louis Rams for a while. And I remember Denzel came to town to see him play, and reporters wanted to interview him, and he wouldn't do an interview because he says, I'm not here for that. I'm here for my son. And he was very polite and respectful, Denzel was, when he said that. But he says, I'm glad that he did not, have a long football career because there's no telling where he would be, mentally.
Yeah, what's it called? CTE?
CTE?
CTE is scary, man.
Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of players who did it, but the one that stands out for me, two of them, Dave Duerson with the Bears killed himself. Junior Seau killed himself, right? They just couldn't take it. They couldn't take it anymore. So that lets you know it's real, And it's like, I don't know if I'd let a son of mine play pro football. Would you?
Well, like you say by that time, I mean, I think the question becomes, would you let him play high school football? Would you let him play,
No. Well, that's what I meant. Yeah. I wouldn't.
If you let him play all the way through you're not going to play pro ball.
Yeah.
I mean, damn. Daddy could have stopped me about.
But it stops here. Take care, Stan.
Yeah, I think nowadays, I used to say if he was passionate about it, I'd let him play. I really would be steering him away from it now. Yeah. I think now there's enough evidence to make parents say, no, you don't need to be playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, the one you said guys who are a little bit older, but the one that got me was the tight end for the kill the guy, the Aaron Hernandez. The fact that
I don't think we're ever going to know the truth about that, man.
No, but what I'm saying is the fact that he had the worst case. They said the worst case they'd ever seen in a young person.
Yeah.
That's more frightening to me because he's not the only guy. A couple young guys have passed away, and they had this severe case of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. I mean, that's very frightening.
Do you think he killed himself?
Yeah. You think he got taken out?
I think he got taken out.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm a conspiracy guy with this, and you're not. And you're
I know.
guy.
I'm Mr. Conspiracy guy. Yeah, this one. Yeah, you know what? This one, it don't matter.
Well, no, he's gone.
It don't matter.
But
well, see, he could have had a guy take him out because the whole money thing he wanted for the family. So yeah.
I mean, there are lots of reasons why he could have. I mean, was he gay?
Yeah.
He was gay?
That was confirmed. Did you see the documentary, man?
I didn't. No, I didn't. I don't have cable, man.
Oh damn! Yeah, he's gay. He was gay. He was bisexual. His girlfriend, she suspected something. Has anybody seen the cucumbers? This kitchen smell like feet and ass.
Has Faith Evans been
here? So yeah, they been pretty much. A little documentary said, yeah, he lived a double life.
Wow. And the thing was that he was destined for superstardom because he had that skill set in the NFL. Now his girlfriend had a baby by his ex-college roommate or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like a couple weeks ago, she gave birth.
And living off his money. Ooh, man.
Man, that's strong right there, man. That's strong. That is strong, dude.
Man. He's like, I need to get another job. No, you don't. You good? We set. We got this money. We got this plenty money.
Yeah, we got this money.
That's this Robert Kraft money.
How much money did she have? Because, when he got let go, his contract was canceled. And what money he had, he probably spent on lawyers, so I don't know how much money was actually left.
No, Tony, that's what I'm saying. When he by killing himself, he got it freed up like $10 million.
Because if you kill yourself, though, a lot of insurance policies won't pay.
Well, the way this one was worded, him killing himself freed up it's like $10 million somehow.
Yeah.
So that's why they say he did it was for the kid.
Okay. And then she had another kid.
Yeah, now don't tell him that part. It was damn scandal.
But he almost had you say he had a double life. It's almost like he had a triple life because he was bisexual. So there's two, and the third thing was he was a thug and a half.
Yeah,
he was a gangster.
He was trying to overcompensate for his feelings towards his sexuality
by being a thug, by being tough.
It happens, man.
So are there a lot of thugs out there that are actually like bi and stuff, man? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, man. Baltimore's the hub of that.
I didn't know, man. I just knew about the Orioles, the Ravens, and the crab cakes, man. I didn't know anything else.
Man, don't let the Timberlands and the wife beater fool you. That thug is booed up.
Oh man. Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah. You can check us out anytime. This will be out there forever. So
what did Nicole say?
She said, by far the best thing is the live feature. We can see you all reinvent the Breakfast Crew any time of the day. So.
Oh, thanks, Nicole.
So, it's funny how they remember the Breakfast Crew. I don't know if there was ever. Before you and I worked there, the morning show I think was called the Breakfast Crew. But I don't think there's ever been another, because like Charlemagne's show is called the Breakfast Club. How many Breakfast Clubs are there that are not that Breakfast Club in America, right? And but I don't think anybody was ever called the Breakfast Crew. I don't think, But I always thought it was peculiar. I thought it was peculiar though, because it was Breakfast Crew and it was me, you, and Deneen. What kind of crew is that?
Was the Breakfast Crew? So you're saying it predated us?
Yeah.
Okay. Because then I know
when B.J. Barry worked with Kevin and maybe even Doc Jones, man.
I know that Tessa and Charleston had the breakfast.
The breakfast
club, I think.
The
right?
breakfast club.
Yeah.
Like the slang breakfast.
Yeah, and then yeah, yeah, man.
Oh, Marcia says we're talking about Aaron Hernandez.
Marcia's like, what's going on?
Who are you talking about there? We were talking about Aaron Hernandez, the late NFL player who committed suicide in prison. I think he got taken out. Marc thinks he committed suicide. Usually Marc's Mr. Conspiracy Theory, but we kind of switched seats for this one. So.
Right. It's the one time, right?
Yeah, it's the one time. So there you go. So I don't know if you remember, Jill Scott and her husband. They're getting divorced, and he was saying that she made life unbearable for him because she's just, I think what it comes down to is she's just too much woman for him. I don't mean that in a physical way. I just mean that, and she's a strong black woman, and he just couldn't. I don't think he could handle it. But I never met Michael Dobson, so maybe I'm wrong. But he did go to the judge and says he wanted his Prince albums back, and he wanted some other stuff back. And Jill says, you know what? All your stuff's in storage, but you can't have the hotel robes. I'm keeping those. Like, to me, and I was married before I married. I had a first marriage that we divorced, and to be honest, I don't remember. Well, we didn't have to divide up anything because we didn't have anything.
Yeah, broke.
So, but to me, if you're at the point where you want to get out of a marriage, if you're going to the judge saying, I want my Prince albums back and I want my hotel robes back and all that, to me, dude, just go, man. Go. Just go.
Yeah. I think, I always, if I'm honest, Tony, and I'm not, I frown when dudes are petty, man. I do. And it's not fair, but I frown when people, that whole divorce thing, like you said, just go, just take it, just whatever, man. It didn't work out. Let's just go clean. Take whatever. I don't need my Prince album. That's so petty. And I see why you got divorced anyway, because you're a little weak, petty dude.
Yeah.
And that's what my thoughts say. That's not right, but I do.
Yeah. And then people were saying, well, those are collector's items. No, they're not. They're not collector's items. Because
and what are you really going to do? Okay, it's a collector's item worth $70.
I mean, and that's it. Those things will be worth thousands in
let me tell you,
40 years.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. If somebody who's pawned all my stuff, get $68 for a Prince record. in the jacket, untouched, import,
never opened,
$126. There you go. Okay, great. There you go. That's a collector's item.
I just don't. To me, it's like, dude, just go, man. Just go, man. That's just kind of weak. So, how do you feel about men getting alimony?
Same thing, man. Come on, son. If you're a real man, you just keep it moving. I mean, if you married a mega rich, I just don't. I call me old fashioned, but I just think it's kind of whack for a guy to get alimony. If you got the kids, maybe, but I don't know.
I mean, if he was the stay at home and she was the one who had the superstar career, whether it be in entertainment or she's a superstar lawyer or politician or
Man, why are you bringing up my relationship with my wife, man? I thought this was about us, man. You're describing my life. No, man. I just think a man's supposed to make it out there on his own.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you got a lovely wife.
I mean, because a lot of people were mad because Mary J had to pay Ken. She paid Kendu.
Now he's a scrub.
Yeah. But if all things are equal, though,
they're not.
No. Well, I mean, I don't have a problem with a man getting alimony if he truly, I'm not gonna say, I guess earned it is the bad word, not the right word to use. But if all things being equal, and he was a stay-at-home parent because she was the one with the skill set that brought them so much success in their home life and in her career, and he stayed home, and then she got a dude on the side, and the marriage breaks up. What, he don't get alimony just because he's a dude?
Yeah, no, because you're a dude, man. You need it. What are you? Are you a dude? Or are you a little, little bi?
Nicole says stop, man. She goes, it's not determined by sex, so stop. She said, just stop.
No, if you're a little bi, then you get it. I think the determination would, if you have to go to the court and everybody calls you a little bi. Yeah, everybody gets to call you a little bi as you get your check. If you can stand up to it, you're like, all right, fine. You want your little check, a little bi?
Well, it's just one of them things. Let's see what else is going on. Well, I guess the thing with the president. So the president wants another shot at Putin. They're trying to get Putin to come here for a meeting because he feels like he needs to stand up to him. It's like, dude, you lost, man. You lost.
Yes.
You lost, man. You lost.
Yes. That was a terrible moment, the worst moment ever. He wants a redo.
He wants a redo. He wants a mulligan.
What an idiot, man. Our president is an idiot.
What the hell, man?
Even the most staunch Republicans were going in at him, which was funny because even Fox was lighting him up.
Yeah, Fox was like, that was terrible. That was the only one was Sean Hannity.
Yeah.
Because Sean Hannity is Faith and Trump is Biggie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's true. That's good. Quote that, Tony. That's our quote from our first Facebook Live in a while. That's our Oscar-winning Facebook Live.
Yes. Aaron says, "Be a and his little John voice, man. You guys are everything, man. You guys. That's what makes this whole thing so cool, man. Is because they're when we used to do the radio thing, we had to answer the phone. Now we just pop them in, right?
People just checking in,
man. So we like that about but that's just and then the Democrats tried to subpoena the interpreter that was in the room, and the Republicans said no.
Yeah.
Why would you say no?
You know why? Because it was a bad look. They looked terrible. He just looked bad. Man. Just terrible. But you know what? I would discover it, and I'm a Democrat. The Democrats are soft as toilet paper, man. Soft, no backbone, no balls, just soft.
Yep.
The Republicans, they have to laugh. Our strategy is the weakest ever. We don't know how to get it together.
Yeah. I mean, that's true.
We have no defense for Trump. We have no defense for Trump. He's like Wilt Chamberlain, just slamming on us. We have no defense. We're just like, ah!
Yeah. Hey, speaking of basketball, man, LeVar Ball says he would have beat Michael Jordan one-on-one back in the day. Well,
here's the thing I was telling this today. Who keeps letting him on the mic? He's been saying it. I mean, he is manipulating. He's like Trump.
Yeah.
We heard this before, Yeah. He keeps on saying it, and people keep on letting him say it. I'm like, this guy's a genius. it worked the first time. You saw him on Sports Center.
Oh, he was everywhere.
going up against other guys playing basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, like, who gets to keep saying some BS and just keep getting the microphone? Man. He went back to oldie but goodie just to get back on again.
Yeah.
I've ruined my kids' careers.
Yeah.
The high school guy, he has no shot. The other kid has no shot. Hey man, I could beat Michael Jordan in basketball. It's like reset. Okay, I'm back on again. It's amazing.
It is amazing that he keeps getting away with that. But just thought I'd ask you about that, man, before we got. Let's see what else I got here, man. I'm just going off some notes and stuff. So I did that one and did that one. And did you hear about this waitress in Georgia, man, Emilia Holden? Apparently, man, she was a waitress or server at Vinnie Van Gogh's in Savannah, Georgia.
Mm-mm.
And apparently, Ryan Cherwinski is shown grabbing her buttocks. Right?
Mm-hmm.
She turns around and grabs him by his shirt collar and slams him into the counter.
Damn.
And says, "Don't you touch me, you MFer."
Okay.
It was like, and I'm assuming that was a strip club. Was it a strip club? It sounded like the go-go thing. I mean, maybe it wasn't. But wherever it was, out of all the women there, man, you chose that one. You chose that one. You chose that one. The goose, man. You goosed that one.
He got slammed down.
You got taken down like Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse, man. It's like, you know, she Swayze'd you, man. What in the entire?
So that's not a Me Too situation.
It is a Me Too situation because she shouldn't have to go through that, but she handled it herself.
Damn.
You know, so that's that. I was like, dude, really? Seriously, all the people there, you touched that one. Really?
Damn. So see, this you threw me off, man. I thought I was getting ready for the Me Too thing.
No.
Like you said, she defended herself. She's like, damn.
I mean, she grabbed him by the shirt collar and slammed him into the counter, man.
Whew, man.
That's crazy. Good for her.
Yeah, that'll learn you.
Good for her, man. I don't know, because, you know, she treated Aaron's comment, man. She treated him like a beer.
Beer. That's right. You got to handle.
Yeah, man. So it's like, you know, somebody asked me one time why there seems to be like men why with this movement that's been going on now for a while, why are men still doing this? And I don't think men understand what exactly is sexual harassment. I mean, clearly grabbing somebody's butt is sexual harassment. That's sexual assault. Mm-hmm. But I don't think a lot of men, especially older men, don't know what it all entails. You know? And to me, I just say, you know what, if you're harassing a woman if you do something that makes her uncomfortable. Now, having said that, that's a very broad brush I'm painting this with.
Yeah.
But in order to keep yourself safe, that's pretty much the rule you need to follow.
You're right, and you're right. That's a good point. I think you're right. Guys, I think some guys, especially older guys, because of the power structure and because of the past, mm-hmm. they really don't have a good idea of the limits. Like you said, good morning, Miss Lady. You're mighty pretty this morning, Miss Lady.
That's harassment.
Stop. Stop
harassment.
Stop it, Uncle Charles.
Because you wouldn't say, yo, dude, good morning, man. You're looking really good today, man. You wouldn't say that to a dude.
Right. You're very handsome this morning, sir. Well, I guess you might, but yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I think a lot of people don't really know. And so then they feel like they're trapped because like, man, what can I say then? No, you can't touch people. You can't say, you can't say these, how to dance around racial stuff,
Yeah. And the other
they don't really know what to say.
But the other side of that too is, we talked about older men don't know, but younger men that do this apparently have never been taught.
Or don't care.
And and it's not an excuse, and it's a reason, but it's not an excuse. No one's excusing that type of behavior. I mean, we each have 3 daughters. And this is like something that needs to be discussed more because, When you think about it, man, just in Hollywood, how many people's careers have crashed and burned behind this, man? Kevin Spacey, Harvey Weinstein. I mean, the list goes on and on. But we have to be very careful, I think, because you don't want to condemn somebody who's been accused. I think
that's out the window, sadly.
Yeah, but the accusations they need to be investigated before you sentence somebody to hell, and that's not happening.
No, that is not happening. Hey, on the Me Too tip, that's not happening.
That's not happening.
You're toast. Now, Kevin Spacey, though. See, I think what happens, the chicken's coming home to roost in a lot of situations. When I was working in Baltimore, I was on the set of the Kevin Spacey series. And, the understudy, the whispers around the spot where, they had the understudies, young, good-looking guy underneath Kevin Spacey, basically shadows him, and and they were whispering about, what do you do, man? Kevin Spacey calls you at 3 a.m. to come to the room or whatever, and those are the rumors, and so now it all comes out, and just think how that person can really be a predator, not just for women but for boys, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah. For
those people who are trying to get in the industry. And I was like, man, it becomes real when you just think about it. Like you're just on a set, and let's say, the main actor, you catch their eye, and next thing you know, you go from just being on a set as an extra to like following them around, So it's a very, you start to realize how that person could take advantage of people,
Yeah.
And if a system doesn't say anything because he is powerful, then there you go. So I think that's why Hollywood is such a big player in this. And, we've known like Russell Simmons. We've known Russell Simmons a long time. We've seen him go from rough around the edges, cussing everybody out of control Russell, to Mr. Guru Russell Simmons.
Yeah.
And the Russell that we knew back in the day, who didn't give a damn and would cuss everybody out and was just trying to get these records played, he was a monster. He was a drug user. He was a monster. So, you know what I mean? So now he's a different guy, but you're not shocked by. But then, like you said, how long does it take? In sports, in the All-Star game, we saw that pitcher come under fire for some racial tweets he did when he was 17.
Yep.
And it feels like they're giving him a pass. But if it was a Me Too situation, I don't think they would quickly give him a pass.
Should he get a pass?
Huh?
Should he get a pass?
I don't think so.
Should it cost him his career?
No, he needs to. Well, see, and then like a couple of his black teammates stood up for him. I don't think that's enough just because two black guys say he's a good kid. He said KKK. He said, I hate gay people. He said a whole bunch of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I think he needs to be sat down and we need to have a conversation. He needs to show us that you are mature. And what do you mean by this? How do you feel about it now? I don't think just because, again, two your teammates come to your rescue, oh, he's cool, then you would just let it go. If it was the Me Too situation, it would not be let go.
No.
Period.
No.
I don't care if two women said, no, he's cool.
Yeah.
No, he's going to be dragged to the depths of hell.
It's a double standard. I mean, it is, but, and speaking of that, you hear about a lot of times now these female teachers that are getting in trouble for being inappropriate with students, whether it's a male student or a female student.
Man.
But they seem to really get off with hardly any punishment at all.
They wouldn't go to jail though.
Huh?
Go to jail though.
Yeah, but I mean, they're being charged with. It's not being, a man teacher would be charged with rape.
I see what you're saying.
A female teacher is just charged with, assault or contributing to the delinquency of a minor. And it's but they did the same thing.
Yeah, this is a double standard.
I remember years ago there was one white lady, a teacher who got caught, a young teacher, and she didn't get sent to jail because she was too pretty. They said that she was too attractive to be in jail because she would be harmed. And I was like, yeah, well, that's how it works, though, man. That's
a hell of a lawyer right there. Your Honor, look at her.
Story came out a couple of days ago. This lady, she hung an infant, although the infant was saved before the infant died, and then she left in a car and she like ran over somebody on a bicycle. She hit someone else and she had another accident. All these things were all connected to the same thing. She got 10 years probation.
Damn.
It's like, wow. That is crazy. You know? Do you think Russell Simmons is guilty?
Who's the lawyer? Terry Crouppen?
Do you believe these accusations against Russell Simmons?
The ones that are scary are the ones that are like women who are known in the industry. You know, it's kind of like, oh, that's a tough one. Like, you know, like a woman who's known in the industry, who's kind of has a reputation. You know, you just go, oh man, like that's a tough one. I mean, the ones like the young white girls, I think, you know, I mean, I'm not saying I don't believe them. I'm saying it just seems the toughest ones are the ones who are like almost friends of the family type relationships. Those are hard to deny. You know, you just go, oh man, that was, what happened there? You know, but I guess for now on the flip side, which I'm not going to say it's fair, those same ones though, his point was, yeah, but you know, we have relationships over the years. You attended the so-and-so with me 5 years after that, and, you know, you were on my board, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, you know. So and then, like you said, the piece of the whole timing thing, like you said, Tony, if 10 years ago, you know, I had this moment with you and you felt like I basically assaulted you, but then 5 years ago, I accompanied you on a cruise ship and we spent a week together. What's going on? Yeah. And just because we spent the week together, does that mean I didn't rape you? Or does it? I mean, and if that's, you know what I mean? Like if I raped you, why would you go on a trip with a rapist?
Right. Carlos says, ask Kimura. I don't think Kimura would know.
No.
There's a lot of men who act completely different around their spouses than they do when they're out.
Oh yeah, we know that's true.
You know, there's a lot of them like that. And let's shout out Soap Lady Sarah, man. Remember Soap Lady Sarah?
Soap Lady Sarah, that's our baby right there.
Yeah.
Soap Lady Sarah, grown woman now.
Yeah, grown woman, kids, everything, man.
She was 16 when we first.
That was a long time ago, man.
Soap Lady Sarah. Kisses to Soap Lady Sarah.
Yeah, shout out to Soap Lady Sarah. So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting how, you know, and I look at it because, you know, there's a lot of, like, Hulk Hogan got reinstated into the WW, whatever it's called now. Is it E?
Right, yeah.
You know, but a lot of the African-American wrestlers in the WWE, they said they were indifferent. They really don't care. You know, he got banned for his racist comments for like 3 years, which is always interesting to me in sports. You get a lifetime ban, but you can apply for reinstatement after, you know, X amount of years. Well, that's not a ban. That's not a ban. You're banned. You can never go back.
And again, black folks, we got the weakest. We're the most tolerant of all. You know, because like I said, people are like, oh man, I saw Booker T. Hey man, he's all right. Okay, you know, hey man, can we work together on this? I mean, damn. You know, like we don't have any rules, man. We just let you back in. Let it be a Jewish offense. Yeah. You would have been banned for life.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's the thing. I just don't get that. You can apply for reinstatement. It's a lifetime ban, but you can apply for reinstatement. Well, that's not a lifetime ban. Just say they're suspended for 3 years.
He's like, Vince McMahon's like, because the blacks will forget about it in a couple years. Trust me on this. The only protester was the ghost of Bobo Brazil. No.
Not Bobo Brazil. Wow, where'd you pull that one out from, man?
I hit you with that one, man.
Yeah. So, but a lot of these, you know, and the interesting thing, like with the teachers and students, there are some teachers, you know, they get warned, they go to court, they get probation and say, don't contact a student again, and they do it again.
They're like fiending.
It's like, boy, I mean, that's crazy, man.
And it's crazy. All these little pretty white girls just going crazy over Levante.
What is that, man?
what? She's like, he's like, she's like, what grade am I getting in this class? D.
You're getting the D. That's the only time you're happy to get a D, right? I don't know, man. But you know that's been going on. I mean, for decades, man. The teachers have been doing this with students. You know, I mean, it really has been going. I mean, I remember in my high school there was a teacher who had a baby by a student, and nobody said anything. And her husband was a coach on the football team.
Man,
and it's like nobody said anything though.
So when you know your high school is shaky. You know. Anytime your football games are sponsored by abortion clinic, Tony, you know you got a shaky high school. Halftime brought to you by Dr. Saul. Don't let a baby stop your progress.
No, man, that's
out in Texas, Tony, they're saying shaky high school, man.
But see, in St. Louis, what do they always say? Where did you go? Alton. That's where you had to go.
Yeah.
You had to go to Alton.
Yeah, in my case, Granite City.
Granite City, that's the one. Not Alton, Granite City. Granite City was the one. Yes.
I'm not proud of it.
You didn't even tell me about that one.
My mom was like, where were you? I had to make a run.
You were gone for 10 hours. It was a long run.
Sadly, it was the day I went off to college.
Oh, was it really?
Got to make one stop before we go, though.
Before you get enrolled in Lincoln Land, man?
No, when I went away, man. Going away, I had to make one stop. Make sure there wasn't a little Larry walking around.
Aaron,
I'm going to go with you.
Aaron said, did you go to Beaumont? No, I didn't go to Beaumont. No, I went to school in Texas, so no. I was, no. Kevin Woodson went to Beaumont, though. Granite City, that was the one.
Granite City.
How was that like the only place, you know? I mean, could you go to any other city and get this done in Illinois? Or just Granite?
I think it was the closest.
So it wasn't available anywhere.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
Yeah. I mean, why Granite City?
I know. That's why I'm sure the founding fathers said the same thing. What? Can we be known for our roses?
No, you can't.
Granite City logo was a vacuum cleaner. What is that? Never mind.
It's a Hoover Deluxe. What kind of Dyson is that? No.
All cards and letters go to Tony Scott on that.
Yeah. All. Well, anyway. So. Any stories been catching your attention lately, man?
Let's see, Tony. What do we do today? I actually have a couple here. So Tiana Taylor got some blowback from her.
Tiana Taylor says her and her husband have threesomes.
Yeah, got a little blowback. She got a little blowback, Tony.
And she's fine with that. Why can't people let people live their life?
I mean, that is pretty. What's the word, Tony? That is pretty. Not, what is the word when it's pretty titillating, tantalizing. That's a lot. You got an NBA player and a singer, and they have a threesomes. That's pretty titillating.
Well, yeah, but I'll say this though. Just because she said it, don't mean it's true.
She went in on like little listener. She was like, the lady was judging her or something, and she was just like, just because you got a boring sex life, leave ours alone.
Well, you know what? No one likes to be called a liar when they're lying. You
don't think it's going down?
I don't know. But the thing, I don't know if it's going down, but I don't even care if it's going down. But that's their life. It's like Kylie Jenner getting criticized for piercing her baby's ears.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like, come on, man. Really? We're
Yeah,
about to become West Russia, and you care about Kylie Jenner's baby's ears? Come on, man.
Man.
You gotta keep your eye on the ball, man.
So Jay-Z, you saw that Jay-Z was a little bit upset that Philly dropped the Made in America deal, but didn't even have a meeting. They just found out about it on the media.
Yeah.
He's a little upset about it. I think it's because they got a white mayor now too. You know,
But not the white mayor. I mean, he was visiting Meek Mill and all that kind of stuff like that. So did he get some pushback?
I wonder why, but why wouldn't? I wonder why the mayor wouldn't having a formal. Hey, man, thank you so much. We're going to move in another direction. Blah 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 blah. It's very interesting.
Might be because he didn't know how to tell him. Might be because he was scared.
Well, some people are scared to tell the truth. We know that, don't we, Tony?
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like I always try to tell people you're not in the room, so you don't know what happened. We can guess what happened. It's like let me go. No, you go ahead, and then I'll tell you what I was going to change.
No, I think we have learned over time, and I think I'm still shocked. I'm still figuring out why people in leadership positions. There's a rare breed who can just be candid. Mm-hmm. You know, time and time again, I see situations where leadership does not take the high road and tell people what's going on. You know, even if, I'm just surprised by it. It still surprises me, but it is what it is. I think the average leader just doesn't do it. It's rare to find somebody who's able to, like you said, meet people face to face, tell them the truth. Mm-hmm. You go ahead, Tony.
No, I was going to actually change the subject a little bit and talk about Joe Jackson because, because
wait a minute, what happened?
No. This is the interesting thing about it because Michael Jackson's father, who passed away of pancreatic cancer a couple of 3 weeks ago, something like that. But I remember Bette Midler said, "I'm glad he died."
Mm.
And then there were other people. Conrad Murray, of all people, says that criticized Joe Jackson. Everybody says what a horrible father he was because of all these allegations that came out back in the 90s.
Yeah, and the allegations were they sound like everybody daddy back then.
But the thing is that it's like I question the allegations because to me it's like his kids when he died were like he's the greatest father ever and we wouldn't have had the life we had without him. But if all these allegations were true, you wouldn't have anything to say about him. The best thing you could have done was not say anything.
Well, but I think the allegations were just that he was mean, that he beat us. I mean, okay, but I think I think
LaToya says that he would light matches under their toes at night and laugh, and so I don't.
LaToya and LaToya's. Come on now, LaToya. What did Jackie say? You know what I mean? What did Big Jackie say?
Jackie, yes, he's the second oldest, yes.
I feel like my father, like Jackie and Michael. I mean, LaToya and Michael.
I don't know, man. It's like
I don't know.
And I'm not trying to victim shame anybody, but it just seems kind of odd that a man who was as horrible as he's been described, when he dies, when my father's father was a horrible man, right? And when he died, my father didn't even want to go to his funeral. He didn't even want to go. He didn't even want to go to his funeral, right? My sister talked him into going and all that, but he didn't want anything to do with him, because he was a horrible man, So it's like, my daughter. And maybe I shouldn't base, Joe Jackson's kid's relationship with him off my father and his father. Maybe I shouldn't, but it just seems like, it just strikes me as for someone who allegedly committed all these horrible things to his children and beat them more than he should have, and all these kinds of things, he's lighting of the toes and all this kind of stuff like that. It just seems kind of odd that they still have all this love for him.
Well, but that is how families do, sadly.
Yeah.
That's how families do. And again, like you said, who knows the extent of how bad it was.
Yeah.
Switching topics.
Yes, sir.
Kim Kardashian, 5 minutes, $5 million, man. We're in the wrong damn business.
We're in the wrong business, man. I got to get me some butt injections, man.
She released her new fragrances yesterday. Voila, 5 million.
5 million, man.
You got Kimoji Cherry, Kimoji Peach, Kimono Vibes, $45 a bottle, $5 million in 5 minutes, man. You want to smell like Kim Kardashian?
Yep. Man. She got her, like, was it when Kylie showed up on the Forbes list being worth like almost $1 billion or something, 900 million or something like that. They said she was self-made, and people had a problem with that phrase, self-made.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know. Because they're basing all their success off that one tape that Kim did with Ray J.
Well, that was self-made.
But that was Kim self-made, right? Or,
yeah.
You know? I mean,
I think Kylie's so young. I think a lot of people figured, well, her mom called the moves, you know?
Yeah.
But she's, you know, just like Kim, I think the mom put him in position, Joe Jackson, and then they kind of have taken the ball to run with it. Now, I will say, I think her mother put her in position and still runs a lot of it, whereas I think Kim now has kind of branched out on her own and kind of is doing her own thing. But, you know, I think mom, mom gets a lot of credit for putting these girls. I mean, they took a porn tape and turned it into cash, man.
Dynasty.
Yeah, see, man. My mom would have just made me, if I was a daughter, go to church and wash my mouth out. Threw the tape away. You're filthy. Get out of my house.
That'd have been the end of it.
She was like, hey.
Yeah. So is Kim the breadwinner for the entire family, man? I mean, not now, obviously, but I mean,
Kylie's lapping Kim.
Yeah, that's true.
Kim was only worth $148 million. Her sister's worth almost $1 billion. $1 billion.
But Kim's the one who started it, though, clearly.
Yeah.
You know?
She started with her bottom, now she's here. To quote Drake.
Is that what he said, man?
Started with the bottom, now she's here.
Man. Do you think that was messed up, man, that his child got outed on him, man? When you had a child? Pusha T, man?
Yeah, I think Pusha T. I think Drake.
was there a line cross, man?
Yeah,
where did Pusha T come out? Like, he came out of nowhere, man.
Yeah, I think Drake regrets that, because, you know, Drake's on top of the world, and he still is the ultimate winner. But I think it was embarrassing for Drake. I think it was like, I didn't want to necessarily face this like this.
Yeah.
But he kind of like, you messed with the wrong genre. He went to a generation that was more, they were about battle rapping. You know, they were about that. Yeah. They're about that life.
Yeah.
Pusha T's like, look, my life is, I have nothing, so.
I got nothing to lose.
They say you always want to go up against somebody who has just as much to lose as you do.
Man.
Pusha T's like, he's like, I still have braids from 1997. I have nothing to lose.
Just don't, if they start looking like Coolio, they got to go, man. Don't do the Coolio thing, man. You got to let them go. So, Ice Cube said a few weeks ago, man, that rappers get 3 years at the top. And when you get to the top, you got 3 years and then you come down. 3 years. He said Lil Wayne got 3 years. He goes, Drake's coming up on his 3rd year. He goes, everybody gets 3 years and then they start to fall off. He goes, it don't mean their career's over. It just means that you're not at that pinnacle after 3 years. You can't stay past it. Is that true?
I think Drake's kind of like been the outlier on that. It's been longer than 3 years.
Has it been longer than 3 years?
It's been longer than 3 years, Ice Cube, on that one.
Yeah.
It says a good quote, though. You get 3 years. You know?
Of course,
nobody's really checking.
He's pushing that 3-team NBA thing. I mean, that 3-team basketball thing he's got going on. So maybe that was his way to get that in there.
You know what?
Say it again, because you're freezing up. Say it again.
I think his basketball thing is actually going to work.
Why is it going to work, man?
Because you have, the stars are still, you create an experience, right? Mm-hmm. You got Ice Cube, who's got he knows how to get the party started. Mm-hmm. So you're going to add music. You're going to add, a little flash. The stars are still able to play. It's not like they can't still be electrifying. And they still have, like, when you think about it, like, I'd go down, I'm in the DC area. Mm-hmm. I go see Allen Iverson. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's players that you would go, I go see that guy. And I think that combined with a cool experience and a ticket price is not that expensive is not a bad idea. It's almost like you get a chance to see the stars, the kind of I don't say washed up stars, but you get a chance to see some guys, you haven't seen in a while, and the experience is kind of cool,
Yeah.
And then you add even the Dr. J's or the coaches, who are kind of semi-celebrities or people that you go, okay,
Yeah.
Just the familiar enough to make you go, I'll do that.
Now, the way it took off last year, it was very successful. So then Ice Cube and his business partners he has, they go to Europe and create the same thing as a lot of European basketball players that, if they played over here, they went back after they finished or they stayed over there and had great careers. So he's like, hell, we could do that over there. And he went over. So they're essentially Ice Cube and his boys are double dipping, man, which is cool. No one else thought about it, right?
I know, it's smart, man, because again,
LeVar Ball's going, damn.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, the guys still want to prove they can play. And again, these guys are like 30-something years old. I mean, some of them are older, but they're still like young,
Yeah.
I think that's and then you start creating it cool with the people like the jerseys, and then people like the merch.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay.
The whole NBA experience is so different from, like my wife and I went to a Mavericks game last year, right? And I hadn't been to an NBA game since they had a couple of exhibition games in the early 90s in St. Louis, right? And the whole thing is, I mean, they got house DJs and they're playing music while the game is playing. They got all kinds of stuff, man. It's really different. The whole sports thing is different because a few years ago, when I first moved to Dallas, my nephew came to town, and his cousin in Houston came up here, and we went to a Dallas Cowboys game, right, at AT&T Stadium. And that thing is so pimped out, man. It's like they got all kinds. First, they got this giant screen that goes from the 20-yard line to the 20-yard line, right? That's like a 60-yard screen in HD. It's crazy. And then some on the side and everything. But then they got like a grocery store is a sponsor. So they got a mini blimp and they're dropping gift cards. When there are timeouts, they're dropping gift cards in the crowd, and people are fighting for them. The gift cards are probably like $5, $10. But they see that grocery store logo flying on that little blimp inside the stadium. I mean, Jerry Jones is like printing money down there, man.
Yeah.
When the commercials are running on TV, there are different commercials running on that giant ass screen. That's crazy. I mean, they are pimping, and the whole experience is just different, man.
Yeah.
It's changed so much. But the basketball thing, man. I mean, because it's a smaller venue than AT&T Stadium, but what they got going on, man. They got the DJ. They got this one section of these guys in outfits, and they're like famous in North Texas, and it's just the whole thing. It's like you're almost exhausted because you don't. Well, I'll say this: you almost forget to watch the game. There's so much going on.
Right. It's more than just the game. You don't have to even like the game to enjoy the experience.
And which is in Dallas was a good thing because the Mavericks suck. So there's something else to do than watch them play, right? So
yeah, I mean, you're right. That's what it is, man.
Yeah. Gretchen wants to know. Gretchen says that this is cool. Like she loves what we're doing here. How often do you guys do this? Well, we did the last one, 2 years ago or something like that? So we should be back.
We're back, Gretchen.
We should be back.
We're in it to win it now.
We'll be back for the presidential elections coming up. So, so what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen in November, man? You think it's going to turn out the way the Democrats want? Is it going to be a shift?
Nope. He's reelected.
Well, I'm talking about the midterms in November. Why do you think he'll get reelected?
Because of the apathy of the Democrats and the disorganization and the no fight of the Democrats. So right now, I think the shift for the Democrats, the energy was around the young people who embrace Bernie, the progressives. But the people who vote in the Democratic Party are the older people. So there's no candidate. There's not a hot candidate that's rallying people around together. I think you still have the gap. You have the progressive young people versus the old people in the Democratic Party, and the party's not really doing anything to bring them together. And I think that's the sad part. I think the black women are the star of the party, but the Democratic Party has not addressed black women. I think the question of
I don't think we're ready for another black president.
No, and I think the question about a woman president. So there you go. There's a whole bunch of questions and no answers.
Right.
That equals a bad showing at the election.
There was a story last week that said Hillary Clinton is organizing to run again. I can't see that happening.
No, that horse is dead. No pun intended.
What about Joe Biden?
No, too old.
Too old? Bernie Sanders.
Again, young people, progressives, old people are like, eh. Old people are like, well, he's not even a Democrat, right? He's independent, you know.
Something like that, yeah.
Again, there's too many unanswered questions, you know, and it doesn't look like they're really working to try to. So again, you have black women who've supported and seem like they have not been given any respect. They're not dealing with that. Number two, you have, again, the young people who are obsessed with Bernie and the young progressive ideas, but they're not consistent with the Democratic platform, what is the Democratic platform? And then lastly, like you said, the question mark of, I don't think the country's ready for a black anything. I don't think the country's ready for a woman anything. So what are we going to do? Versus the Republicans who, you know, some hate Trump, but he's given them the conservative judges they want. He's given them what they want. They want, you know, they want to get rid of abortion. They want to get rid of affirmative action. They want guns. He's giving them all those things they want. So even though they say the polls say they hate him or whatever, I think they're just going to shut up and let him continue to win.
Well, I hope you're wrong, but
I know I bet somebody. I hope I'm wrong too.
Yeah.
But my gut feeling is, I mean, the Democrats they have no teeth, man, or nothing.
There's no fight in them, that's for sure.
Why were the Republicans more outraged about Trump's deal with Russia than the Democrats were?
Was it the case of that, or was it the Republicans were? It was so surprising that the Republicans were upset about this that that was the story and not what the Democrats, because it was automatic. Democrats were automatically going to not like whatever happened there. Yeah,
well, that's the other thing that we've broken now. Now we're in the country of MSNBC and Fox. So you're right. If you're listening to MSNBC, it's the same old, same old, same old. If you're listening to Fox, it was different because they actually, for the first time, came after the president.
Yeah.
So it did seem different because if you listen to MSNBC, you just get because everything he does that gets fired on, it doesn't seem to matter.
Right.
So just after a while, it's just night after night of, oh, he's going to get it this time. No, he's not. No. He's not going to get it. Nobody cares. I mean, you know, and I just think it is very just frustrating. Frustrated country.
Yeah, that's true. Very frustrating because it's like, wow, what's it going to take? I read somewhere a couple of days ago that if he were to be impeached, now I don't know if this is true or not, but I thought it was interesting that if he's impeached, then everybody got to go.
That'd be great.
Pence got to go. They all got to go. I was like, really? I'd never heard that before. I don't know.
I had never heard that either. I don't know. Tony, did you read that on The Onion?
I did not read that on The Onion. No.
Did Onion Horton tell you that?
No. May he rest in peace. No.
I'm a liar. I'm a fool.
I laughed one time. I was listening to Onion Horton. Me and Kevin Woodson were in the Magic 108 van, man, doing a van hit. We went to Halil Horizon over on Grand. They had great fish sandwiches, man. So we were in there on the way over there. Well, on the way over there, yeah. It was about 10 o'clock. Onion got off at 10 o'clock, and it was like 9:59 and 50 seconds. He goes, "We got time for one more call. Is it a lady or a gentleman?" "Hey, Onion, it's a gentleman. How you doing?" "Hey, Onion, I gotta go."
Yes.
I was like, what the hell was that? Oh man. Now his son is one of the nicest men in St. Louis that I ever met. He's just a very nice man. So
DJ too, right?
I think so. Yeah. So but that's
gotta love St. Louis, baby.
Man, St. Louis was a whole different thing. I mean, you know what? I didn't care much for the city, but I love the people. You know,
interesting.
The people who ran the city were. I mean, well, yeah, I tell people all the time. The worst kept secret about St. Louis until Mike Brown was murdered was the race problem in St. Louis. When Mike Brown was murdered, huh?
Yeah, there was definitely an energy for years.
Yeah, and when Mike Brown was murdered by that cop, the world found out how racist St. Louis is. Now, whether you cared or not was a whole different conversation, but the world found out how racist St. Louis is.
And you know who's been a foot soldier all these years, man? Shout out to Anthony Shaheed.
Man.
The Shaheed Youth Group has been out there forever.
He's a soldier, man.
And Anthony still looked like he'd beat that ass if you...
Yeah, I saw a picture of him not too long ago.
You step the wrong way if you want to.
How was it that we all got older and he didn't?
Nah, yeah, you know why bean pie is in prison. Anthony visits those, he goes in the prisons and talks to them brothers, keeps them young, man.
Man. Man. So, Carmen Kelly, how you doing? What's up? What's up? KJ Midday, one of my old co-workers. What's going on? And yeah. Yeah, so, but St. Louis is I understand there was something happened in St. Louis a couple of days ago where like 10 Wash U African-American students got falsely accused of skipping out on a check at IHOP.
Oh, Lord.
And now, they're trying to backtrack. I think that happened in St. Louis, I think. I wouldn't be surprised if it did, because St. Louis is still... Nothing's changed.
Why did the neighborhood that Ted Drewes was in always feel like the set of a Spike Lee movie with some shit about to jump off? Let me get a custard concrete. He's got a gun. What neighborhood was that, Tony?
That was what was that? Watson Road in South City.
What's it called?
It was on Watson Road in South St. Louis.
Oh, South. Okay. Yeah. South Side seemed like it was.
South Side wasn't for us, man.
There we go. That felt like it.
Now, before you came to St. Louis, when I worked with Kevin Woodson, there was a 2020 episode that aired on one Thursday night on the race problem in St. Louis, right? And you thought that would have been the turning point, but it wasn't. It really said nothing. It's worst kept secret, but they did a special and they showed like a black guy tried to rent an apartment and they told him there were no openings. The white guy went to the same apartment and he said, "Well, when can you move in?" And then at nighttime, brother walking down the street in South St. Louis, "What you doing over here, man?" I was like, damn.
It was crazy. It was crazy, man. I had two instances, and it's weird, man. Like, So in St. Louis, when the Mike Brown situation happened, and I was, living in the D.C. area, that broke my heart, because again, that whole area, man, I used to, go to the club there on Thursday nights, and just, I just thought of St. Louis, and it was just emotional, and it was sad, and then the same thing happened, which was, so I think is amazing. Baltimore and St. Louis, very equipped, very similar. But the same, and I noticed it was weird. I noticed a pattern, or as we say, a pattern. when the stuff happened with Mike Brown, and then the stuff happened with Freddie Gray, I noticed that I didn't deal with those things. I didn't, I didn't deal with them. I didn't hop in. I kind of like kept distance. I guess I didn't want to get emotional. And when you finally do, I became overrun with emotion, But it was weird. It happened the same way. I avoided the story. And then one day on Facebook, you just saw what was going on, man, and just the tears came, man, and you just felt just a certain way.
I'll say this about,
because, like you said, go
ahead. You froze up.
There all these years.
So
in Baltimore,
say it again.
Same way. Baltimore.
No, say it again, because you said it like I pick up again what you were saying because you froze up.
Yeah. So the undertones were there all these years.
Yeah.
In St. Louis, and the same thing with Baltimore. When I was in Baltimore, the same. You can't keep on denying people education and opportunity and not taking care of them and not think something's going to happen. And when you saw Baltimore burning and you saw St. Louis burning, man, it was just like, it was gut wrenching.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Don Cody checking in, man. Or dude, Don Cody, man.
Don Cody,
He owns half of Florida now.
And congratulations, Don just received an award, an industry award. Don, congratulations, Don. We remember when Don first got into computers. Remember that, Tony?
Yep.
He took that ball and ran with it like a motherfucker.
Yep. Gretchen says the thing with the IHOP and the college students, they had a receipt that showed they had paid for their ticket. They paid for their meal. So there's that. But the interesting thing, you know, bringing up what happened in Ferguson and all that, and you remember the area and all that. But you know what, man? TV didn't do it justice. I wasn't working at the time. I had got let go, right? And I just felt like I had to do something, right? So me and Olivia, my second daughter, we went down there, took my camera with me, and did some interviews, man. But driving down there, man, seeing what happened, seeing the frustration that was taken out on businesses down there. You know, where buildings were burned and businesses were burned and things like that. Just the devastation of what was going on. That Quick Trip, you know, that was destroyed and all that. And just seeing that, I think depending on how you see the world and how you grew up, you either saw this as a lot of pain that was expressed, a lot of frustration that was released, or you saw this as they're animals down there anyway. That's what you think they were going to do. But it just depends on what your viewpoint is. You know, somebody that I know, he's a conservative talk guy, posted, you know, when there was a protest going on in Haiti, and he says, well, this is why these are bleep hole countries, like the president says. And to me, I'm like, so I'm thinking, okay, so you're co-signing what he said based on one picture because people are protesting of what's going on over there. And so you're just going to paint it with a brush like that, you know. And I've always maintained that, people who don't have empathy, what people don't understand, they ain't got time for it. They don't care about it, right? Because in a lot of people's world, there's not a problem with police because the police in their neighborhoods are great police officers, you know? And the police that come into neighborhoods of people that look like you and me, we don't get that same experience. We don't get the benefit of the doubt. Oh, come on, you're not supposed to park there. There's a fire hydrant right there. Don't do that. Don't make me do that. But where we have our people is like, let me see your driver's license registration, man. You know,
Right.
you don't get that same benefit of the doubt, and people don't understand. For a long time, until one of the great things about the invention of a smartphone is the things that are being documented now, right? And the thing is that people didn't want to believe that police officers do this to people. Now, let me stop now and say most police officers are very good at what they do. But like most things in life, we don't put shine on people who do good things, right? Even TV news, somebody who a good Samaritan, where do they stick it? After sports and weather before they sign off, right? Never the lead story. It's at the end when people are gone. People are going to the bathroom getting ready for Colbert, you know what I'm saying? where and so they sweep it under the rug. But all these other things that happen that involve people of color are front and center. And some people say, well, because it happens so much. Well, it doesn't happen nearly as much as you think it does. But the media plays it up and puts it out there, and people get they form opinions based on what they see on TV, and TV knows that, and they play up to that. And I think that's a large part of what, like I said, what people don't understand, people ain't got time for. That's not been my experience. That ain't what's happened. That doesn't happen. That ain't been my experience. I've never had that happen to me. Well, that's you, and good for you.
Right.
Good for you.
What a blessing.
It's great. But no, I remember, I think you and I were working together at the time, and we were talking about something. Something happened in Clayton, and this guy calls up and says, he's black, and he was with his white friend, and his white friend was driving. They got pulled over, and the cop told the white guy, "You know better than that, man." St. Louis, man. It's like, but you couldn't convince somebody who lived in Clayton that actually happens from a Clayton police officer. They would never believe something like that. And that's where we are, right? And it's not until it's starting to change, like, little by little, because this stuff is now being documented on smartphones.
It's 2018, man. Damn.
Yeah. And we can't have a civil conversation about this to try and fix this.
Yeah, that is the part I think that is the most frustrating, is that you just feel like it's getting further and further away. And I think even on Facebook, I was just thinking, I've seen people post it, and then I think I got to the point where you're so frustrated with your, friends or associates that if they, it's almost like there's a line, there's a line that if you're rocking with Trump, then you're not my friend anymore. And I'm like, wow, we've really come a long way,
Yeah.
We just think when Bush was president, we're begging for those times. Like, when somebody supports Bush, you didn't agree with it, but you could live with it.
Yeah.
But with Trump, it's almost like, dude, if you post one more thing on Trump, you're not my friend anymore on Facebook. I'm blocking your ass, and it's a wrap.
Well, see,
and I don't want to see you ever again. It's like, damn, like. Yeah. It really is, and sadly, I really do feel that way about, like if someone, is bigging up Trump, like when I worked in New York, WABC, has hosts on there.
Conservative talk, right?
Yeah, and they were applauding, and when Trump won and stuff, and yeah, man, I generally didn't like those guys, And I don't, me, I'm not really that guy, but I've kind of turned into that guy because I think having kids and seeing real life shit happen, dude, you're like, man, this is life and death.
Yeah. It's where we are now, man. And it's like, God,
And speaking of life and death, Tony, I'm going to have to wrap things up.
Yeah. No, I get it, man. You got to go. So I was just getting ready to say that, man. So
anyway. See, man, we're right here, man. 30 years.
We've always been that way.
30 years, man.
A lot of people don't know. Like when we worked together, we'd be in the studio. We could read each other's minds. We could do signals and all that kind of stuff like that. Although Marc didn't like signals because he got like, just say it, man.
Yeah, that is funny. That's funny.
We're trying to get a message to him while we're talking on the air about something that needs to be done, and he'd be like, "What, man? What?"
That's funny. That's so crazy because you say I don't like signals. That's funny. And I don't like signals. It's weird. I don't know what it's about.
I think maybe that day you were just impatient. I don't know. But
I don't like signals.
But it's. Yeah. Well, now we're getting this signal now, so to go. So Marc's got to go, and I got to go too. So I got the Cubs and Cardinals are on tonight, man, and I missed like half the game, so. Got to go back and watch that. But anyway, man, this is we just decided to do this today, and
every week, baby, every week, Tony.
Are we gonna do it every week?
Every week, man. Let's go,
man. Because last time we planned to do that, I didn't hear from you for 3 months.
Let's do it. Do we need to put this in the form of a podcast somewhere?
I can take the audio from this and put it on Spreaker.
Let's do it, man.
So I'll just create a channel. I got time, so I can do that. So
that's a whole other conversation.
That's another conversation. So. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with us, man. It's been a great.
Kelvin Harris, we miss you too, Kelvin. I finally found your page, Tony.
Okay.
We miss you too, Kelvin. Said miss y'all together. We miss you too, Kelvin, but we're back.
Yeah, we're back in this form. We're back.
That's right.
Because no one else seems to be interested, so that's kind of like one of the things. But but you guys are interested, and that's all that matters. Damn it! If they won't do it, we'll do it ourselves. Okay, maybe not, but still.
That's right.
Anyway, you guys take it easy. Share it. You know what you want to show love for? Share this. Share this video on your Facebook page or any other social media platform that you can, and just get it out there and let people know. That you want to show us love. We're not even asking for money yet.
The band's back together. Let them know.
The band's back together. So, But anyway, thanks for hanging out with us, man, and we will holler at you folks in the very near future.
All right, Tony.
All right, man.